Okay, this is the spending and saving money section from your social studies and language art activities. This can be found in your social studies textbook, My World, pages 264 through 269. We're going to do a quick review of the assignments that are due for you. On Monday and Tuesday, you did your vocabulary words, so those are coming in smoothly. Now we're going to review the information in the chapter. Okay, and again, all of this is also available to you if you go to Pearson online. The chapter is also available for you to read online. So, how do we pay for goods and services? Well, we use money. Okay, this is done throughout the world. They use money. Different countries have different monetary values that company prints. They have that country prints. For the United States, it's the dollar, and the dollar is used throughout the world a lot. Okay, there are several other countries that will accept the U.S. dollar because it's a strong, strong bill. They're also for Canada, for example, they use the Canadian dollar, and this is some examples of the Canadian dollar. For Mexico, their monetary unit are called pesos. These are examples of the pesos. Again, they always have pictures of important people in that country. And another example is Pakistan. It's the Pakistan rupee, or rupee, I'm sorry. And these are some of the examples of that. So each country has a certain monetary system that they use to pay for goods and services. These are just four examples. Okay, but there's also two other ways to pay for goods or services, to get goods or services. One is the barter system. What is the barter system? The barter system is a system in where you exchange something that you have to someone else and they give you something they have. So you exchange goods or services for another. In this case, you have this gentleman has a basket of apples. This gentleman wants those basket of apples, and he happens to have a chicken that this gentleman wants. So the barter system means there's no actual money exchange. Okay, it is the objects they are willing to exchange, but this person has to want this. This person has to want this. That's the barter system, the actual exchange. He gives him the basket of apples, and he gives him the chicken. And it could be any objects or any type of items or goods or services. I could say I'll mow your yard and you'll paint my kitchen. That's the barter system. There's actually no money exchanged. Or credit. Credit is something the bank or a lender gives you where you promise to you buy something and you promise to pay them later. It's either monthly, weekly, most cases it's monthly, but you pay them back with interest. What is interest? Interest is an extra amount that you will pay that lending institution for the right of them giving you the opportunity to buy that product or service without paying actual money at the time of the point of purchase. Now, the thing about interest is you borrow, you pay something, say it costs this amount, the lending institution is going to charge you interest, it's a percentage, and at the end, you're going to end up paying this amount. Now, that is the fee that you have to pay for buying it on credit when you don't give them the money right away. So, if you don't have the money, you have to buy it on credit, and they charge you an interest rate. So, you have to pay them this amount. It's always going to be more. You're going to end up paying more because that's the promise that you make for them giving you the opportunity to buy that item or service without paying money up front. So, money, we can also save money, and we save money. Uh, Savings is the money that's earned, but that you don't spend. You put it in a bank account, you save it, you buy gold. It's something where you save the money and you're not spending it. Okay, and you save money for long term things. You save money to buy a house. You save money for your children to go to college. Okay, maybe you want to save money for to going on a family vacation. Okay, all of these take a long, long time to save. But you can also save money for things that you want, like a computer, a cell phone, or a little watch or a gadget that you want. You also save money if you want to buy some furniture or a big screen TV, or a lawn chair or a patio or something that you need. These right here are more of a short term. That means you don't have to save for too long to earn these enough money to buy these. Now, for college and a house, those things you have to earn or save for years. I'm talking years to get enough money to get these services taken care of. And in the savings, you put money in the bank and they pay you an interest. So you put an amount, the bank pays you an interest, and that's their gift to you for you trusting your money in their bank. But the interest that they pay to you is not as large as the interest that you pay to them when you get something on credit. I know it doesn't sound fair, but the bank is not going to be able to stay open for too long if they pay out in interest in savings the same amount or greater than what you pay them when you get a loan. So the interest you pay when you get a loan for a house or a car or for college or for a trip or anything that you want to buy in credit, the interest is not as high, or the interest is pretty high for the bank. But when they give you money in the savings, it's not that high. So again, interest is extra money earned. In this case, they're paying you for putting your money in their bank, and it adds up. The interest you earn on the savings is earned very, very slowly. Okay. So again, your savings accounts in banks. A bank is an institution that keeps, exchanges, and loans money to people or other businesses. That's what they do, but they charge you interest and they give interest. So when you put money in the bank, they pay you a little bit more of interest, and the interest is low. Okay, it's not that large. It's not a big amount, but it is an amount. The more money you have in the bank, the more interest you get paid, but it takes longer. Banks also give out loans to you. Now, when they give you a loan, you pay them the loan amount plus the interest. And this interest is what makes them the money. But they're not going to loan you any money unless they know you're going to pay it back. So if you don't have a job, you have no business walking into a bank and asking for a loan. They're not going to give you a loan because the bank wants to get paid. So how do you borrow money from a bank? Well, when you when you go to a bank and ask for a loan, they're going to ask you, okay, what job do you have? How much money do you earn a month? How much money do you spend on your expenses? Do you have a house payment? Do you have a car payment? Have you been good with making your other payments? And all of those things they take into account when they want to loan you money. But know that when you borrow money from them, they are charging you interest. So a budget is a plan that shows the income or the money you earn from a job. So it's very important that you pick a good job. Get a good education so you get a good job so you'll earn enough to survive and have a very, very comfortable life. You don't want to be struggling there. You don't want to be struggling. It's not easy to be struggling. So a budget also shows the expenses, what you spend your money on, rent, mortgage, utilities, that's like the light bill, the gas bill, the water bill, groceries, food that you buy, any loans that you have to pay, credit cards that you have to pay, a car payment, money that you set aside for entertainment, for going out on vacations or meals out with the family. And another thing I didn't add here is maybe what the cell phone, cable and internet, okay, anything else, and health care. Okay, you never know when things happen. Another thing that falls in the budget are the donations, the money or goods you give to charities. Okay, those all of that is added in a budget, and it's a plan. You have to have a budget so you know how much money you get, you know how much money you spend, so that you know you're going to make it through that month. Here's an example of a budget. Okay, so this is a budget for May. So this is the work deposit. This is how much money I put in the bank. And this is an example. It's not polite to go ask anybody how much money they make, even your parents. That's just something you need to stay away from. Okay, it's unless they're okay with it. But you don't want to go ask your teacher or your neighbor or your fireman how much money do you make. It's not polite. So please avoid doing that. So this is something you're going to make on Friday. You're going to go and research a job that you want to have when you graduate college. You're going to find out how much that particular job pays for salary, and you're going to divide that number by 12. So say for example it's 100,000, you divide that by 12 and that'll give you how much you get paid a month. In this case it's $8,000. So if I multiply $8,000 by 12, that's going to give me my monthly or my yearly salary. So make sure that when you select a job, it's something that's going to give you the highest amount that you want, and it's a job that you love to do. And in this case, 88,000 a month for 12 months is a salary for about $96,000, and that's probably the starting pay for a low-level engineer or someone who's just getting started. Okay, and it's not bad. This is pretty good to start off right out of college. It's not bad at all. But you need to have a college education. If you don't have a college education, this number is going to drop significantly by more than half. You're looking at people without a college education making about maybe 1,200, 1,500, and then that means their expenses cannot be too big. You're not going to have the nice car, the nice home, the cell phones, or entertainment. You're going to barely be surviving, but it's okay. It's okay if you have a job like that. You just have to budget that money more carefully. So this is what a budget looks like. You write down how much money you get paid that month, and then your expenses. These are all the expenses. I have them in red because I start subtracting. I start subtracting. These are all the expenses I have, and I start to subtract. And at the end of the month, I'm going to say, well, I put 1,000 in savings, so I'm good here, and I have $350 left over, so I can spend that money if I have an emergency or if I want to go out and buy a special gift for my wife or my children. I have that money there available to me. I could also put this money in the savings. Okay, the purpose of a budget is for you to be financially responsible. If you if this amount, your expenses is greater than this amount, then you're not going to have enough money to make it through that month. So something is not going to get paid. And if you don't pay your gas bill, your water bill, your light bills, they will turn them off. If you don't pay your car payment, they will come and pick up your car. If you don't pay your mortgage, that means your house payment. They're not going to let you stay in that house. If you don't pay your cell phone, they're going to disconnect your cell phone. So all of these are crucial here. And depending on what job you get, it's going to dictate what expenses you have. If you don't make more than $1,000, there's no way you're going to have a house mortgage of 2,000. That means your house is not going to be that big. That means you might not even have a cell phone. That means you need to cut down on groceries. You can't be buying uh, steaks and expensive meal items. Okay, you have to watch how much light you spend, how much water you spend. So all of this budget really works for you to see how much you spend and how much you earn. So that's what you'll do Friday. Find a job, divide it by 12, find your salary, divide it by 12, and then start with your budget. And I want to see the budget look like this. Now, as you continue, when you go into your social studies textbooks, Monday and Tuesday, you already did your vocabulary word sketches or your slides. You've already been working on that. So I've already seen some of you turn that in. For Wednesday and Thursday, you're going to be looking at these right here. You're going to be answering these questions, and I wrote them down on RenWeb. So you make a slide for this, and then you answer that, and you know how to make those slides. And you have some on each page. Oops, it's not changing. Oh, I see why. Okay, it looks like my internet went off, but that's okay. So as we move on through this, make sure that you follow along and you are answering your questions. You're making those slides and turning them in, turning them in on time. Here's another question that you're going to answer. This one, you're actually going to make this chart here and a slide, and you're going to fill in. This is your question here, and fill in these boxes here. And I want to see this chart in a slide. For this question right here, you're actually not going to underline these. You're going to write down which one of these sentences is a sentence that explains where banks get the money they lend to people. Okay, where do they get it? Which one of these explains how the bank gets the money they loan out to people? That'll be your heading, and then a picture and the explanation here. I believe you have one more, so it's not a lot. Okay, you have this one here. It's not a lot for Wednesday and Thursday. And I gave you 2 days. You have a lot to read. Make sure you read these. You have a video, audio that you can listen to. This is on Pearson. If you want to go online and look at the video version or the online version for them to so you can hear them, it is available to you. This is what you're working on Month Friday. You're creating a budget. You're going to research the job that you wish to have. Okay. You're going to create a budget. Then you're going to create a simple budget that includes how you will spend, save, and donate the money. And then a plan of how you will earn money. What is it? What's the plan? How are you going to get that money? They're not just going to give it to you. What job will you be taking as you get older? Okay. So this is Friday's lesson, and it's going to be this right here. But it's going to be this amount is going to be different. It's all going to depend on what job you research and you want to have when you grow up. And again, this is not set in stone. It may change when you grow up, but you need to get to the habit of knowing how much things cost. So when you ask for something, say you want that new computer, and your parents say, well, it's not in the budget. That means it's not in their budget. They can't afford buying that for you, and you have to be able to understand why. And that's why it's important for you to know what a budget is and how it works, so that you'll be able to make better decisions. So this is a quick review of your assignments for this week, and we're looking at your social studies textbook, and this one covers both your language arts and social studies because there is a lot of reading. Please read these pages. It's very important that you read them after you listen to this review. Please read them after you listen to this review, and everything will start making better sense. So again, if you have any other questions or concerns, please let me know via email or through our live sessions. Thank you for being so attentive.